You're listening to Capital XTRA Breakfast with Robert Bruce and Shayna Marie, making sure your Thursday morning is nothing but pure vibes.
And we're joined in the studio by one of England's most impressive strikers that has never got a yellow or red card in his career.
One of the most iconic football presenters of our generation, on our TV screens, Match of the Day for over 20 years.
A broadcasting extraordinaire, here today talking about the second series of his new TV show, Sitting On A Fourtune.
It's Gary Lineker, everybody! Woohoo!
Morning.
How you doing, Gary? What's going on?
Yeah, all's good. Yeah.
Gary, this Sunday, 28th of May, 7 p.m, ITV1, the second series of Sitting On A Fortune. For anyone who's not seen it, what is this show like?
It's great.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's pretty much always finishes with real drama and jeopardy right at the end. You know, a lot of game shows sometimes finish a little bit flat because someone either loses or, you know, it's in the middle of the show and they carry it on next week or something like that. But with this show, I think it's fair to say, without giving too much away, that you've got a fantastic chance to win it. We start with 6 competitors in a line. We start with a jackpot of £100,000. If they get the answers right, the person in the front chair, it stays at 100,000. But you can also ask help from the 2 people behind you. But if you get a question wrong, they go to the back and the next person goes in. So for most of the early bit, they want to keep the jackpot high, so they help each other. And then there comes a point where they might turn. And if they get it right, they win. So magical moment. If not, they go out. And then the person in the back goes in.
Yeah.
And then it's a 50-50 question. The person who invented the show wanted to kind of replicate a penalty shootout. So that was his idea. So, and how do I do that? And this has that little bit of that feel at the end.
How much of a pressure-filled situation is it for the contestants? Do you give them any
No,
tips?
it really is, because they can be life-changing sums. You know, obviously it drops down if they get questions wrong, but, you know, I think, you know, the tension is palpable at the end. And when, you know, we've had some glorious winners, and I won't give it away by saying who they are, obviously. But it was, you know, and it's just magical to be part of that and see the emotion and the joy in people's faces.
If you had Righty, Shearer and Micah Richards on the show, who would do the best, do you think, and why?
That's a very unfair question. I'll say this. I'll go Righty because he does a game show himself. So therefore, he must read out a lot of questions. So I'm going to go for that. But please, whatever you do, don't tell either Alan or Micah, okay?
Oh, but they might see this, and then what?
Well, then I'll just say, just the first name I could think of.
It was the first one we said, right? It was in his mind. That's fair enough. Before we crack on, boxer shorts on national TV.
Oh.
The question we have for you, though.
Yeah.
How often do you stay in the gym? Because you're a great Nick there.
I 3 times a week, and then Pilates another day. So I do. I try and keep fit.
Pilates
is great. Recommend it to anyone. It's really good for your core and your body and your posture, which mine is awful. So I need work on it.
Same.
Lean forward all the time.
All right, if Gary goes, I'm going to calm down.
We'll get it sorted.
All right, without giving away too much about football, I like to talk about football on the show. Man City, they're looking like they could win the treble this year. What is your advice for Man United to make sure they don't win the FA Cup final?
Robert's a Man U fan if you didn't make that
Away
obvious.
too.
Oh, blimey. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. I mean, they're so good, City, but I don't know. I suppose, you know, United being the only other team to have done this particular treble in our country. So, in 99. So, I suppose it's up to them to try and stop it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a religious man, but they might need to pray a bit. It's going to be. I mean, City are playing so well, but you know, we know in football it throws up surprises, particularly FA Cup finals. It's on the day, so you never know. But obviously, City has to be the favourites. They're a powerhouse at the moment.
Gary, did you ever have to make a decision when it came to coaching and management, or a life not on the pitch?
Well, no, because I never wanted to be a coach or a manager.
Never.
No, well, mainly because I don't like upsetting people. I'm a bit non-confrontational. I don't think I could leave a player out. Oh. So, you got 20 in your squad and you go, well, yeah, I think I'd go up and say, really sorry, but I'll play next week, honestly. I don't think I've got... I think you need to be kind of a little bit tough on people. And I'd be rubbish, I think.
Whoa.
I think, yeah, I knew what I always wanted to, even during my career, I knew what I wanted to go on to do.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah, just go into the media, and I was always fascinated by it, and used to write match reports when I was a kid and that sort of stuff. So, yeah, I knew where I wanted to go.
Well, coaching and management's miss is broadcasting's gain.
I don't think it's much of a miss.
Well, at least it's broadcasting's game. And
game show host gain.
Well,
Yeah,
that's been great fun doing a game show. Something completely different, and let's say at the latter stages of my life.
You never know.
You never know. What do you mean you never know? You're supposed to say, "Oh, you got loads of time." I mean, you never know. Like keel over in the next 5 minutes, you'll feel really, really bad, then, won't you?
It's so funny because I was going to ask you on advice for up and coming broadcasters. Not that you're at the end.
You sound great. You're doing. You love what you do. Be enthusiastic. Work really hard. Do your prep.
Yeah, and I know like people always try and press you because you use your platform to talk about the things you care about. How would you sort of advise up and coming broadcasters to do the same and step out like that?
Well, in the broadcasting world, it's difficult. It depends on what your job is within broadcasting, obviously. But I've got a big platform, and I just feel like I want to use it for what I think are good causes, good reasons. I'll continue to do that. Sometimes people disagree with you on various matters, and that's absolutely fine. We live in a country where freedom of speech is important. But I kind of bat on, but every person's different in this area. Some people are comfortable talking about issues they feel strongly about. Some people less so. So each to their own. But for me, I've been really proud of young footballers as well. Take Marcus Rashford, Raheem Sterling, people like Jordan Henderson, have really spoken out, whether it's about racism, whether it's about feeding our kids in school, whether it's about during COVID when all the captains got together. And I think when footballers have a big platform, it's not their duty to do it, but when they do things like that for the power of good, I think it's hugely beneficial and massively powerful, and hopefully they continue because they're really young men as well, and it's not always that easy to put your head above the parapet, but they've done it, and I'm proud of them for doing that.
We're proud of you too, yeah. And one more time, remind us, where can we watch your brand new series of Sitting On A Fourtune?
It's on ITV Sunday nights for the next 6 weeks or so, and starting this Sunday. So, yeah.
There you have it, ladies.
You'll enjoy it. Watch it.
This Sunday, ITV, 7 p.m, Sitting On A Fourtune, hosted by Gary Lineker. One more time, it's Gary Lineker, everybody!
Thank you.